Bridget McKenzie joins us now. Senator McKenzie, thanks for your time. Let's start with the gas strategy confirmed today by Madeleine King, and the Prime Minister spoke about it. He says it's consistent with their plan for net zero by 2050. And I've just noticed as well, the industry has welcomed it. Samantha McCulloch from the Energy Producers Association, she says that this is a much welcome, clear message from the government. What's your view?
Well, clearly it's an acknowledgement from the Albanese government that they were never going to meet their 2030 targets on the 100% renewable plan of Chris Bowen. And so it is absolutely welcome news that they've acknowledged they have no credible pathway to 2050. We have always said that gas is going to be part of a zero emissions future. And it's nice to see the Labor Party's finally got there. What we haven't seen from them, though, other than, glossy documents and ministerial press statements, is the other parts of government that will actually unlock the reality of gas being able to come online and keep the lights on as we head towards 2050. And that means dealing with the hold-ups through regulatory barriers such as the EPBC Act. They're still continuing to fund the Environmental Defenders Office to the max, which is often one of the proponents against new gas development. So in order for the government's stated plan today to come to fruition, there needs to be significant change to exploration and project approvals to actually make sure that gas is available when we need it as those coal-fired power stations come offline. And it's really an acknowledgement that Chris Bowen has got it wrong. Obviously here in Queensland, very much big supporters of a sustainable and productive gas industry.
The government's copped some flack already. I've noticed from GetUp, they've described this as a dangerous gas strategy. Greenpeace says it's a betrayal of Pacific communities. So the government copping a bit from the left. But this is a show of faith, isn't it, in the industry, and will bolster investment inherently by the fact that the government is backing gas, as Madeleine King says, to 2050 and beyond, Bridget McKenzie.
Yeah, well, Kieran, we've been saying this for over a decade, and the Labor Party has not been on board. The only thing that has made this significant change, an about turn, if you like, is that the laws of physics and the laws of economics have hit Albanese's government smack bang in the face. They're not going to get the renewable take-up and rollout that they had planned. It's hyper-aggressive targets, and that is going to mean job losses, economic downturn, and lack of social cohesion in the decades ahead. And so for them to finally recognise this, is welcome to what we've been saying all along. What they really need to do now, in order to realise this stated rhetoric, is to remove the regulatory barriers that currently exist to stopping projects being rolled out. Because right now, the dearth of movement in federal regulators and beyond is stopping confidence in the gas industry from moving forward. So that's what we'd like to see.
The Prime Minister responding to China's claim that Australian naval personnel were spying in the Yellow Sea when that incident happened last week. The PM pushing back against that once again today. What's your assessment of the government's handling of this? They do want, obviously, to keep that economic and trade relationship on an even keel despite the hiccups.
Well, at what cost, Kieran? I'd be asking. At what cost to keep that trade relationship are we going to pay? I listened to the Prime Minister's press conference as I was waiting to come on, and I think it is incredibly weak language that he's using. Unprofessional. This isn't someone not getting their KPIs done at the end of their 6-month, a performance review. This was an aggressive, unprovoked, dangerous incident from the Chinese government. It wasn't the first, it was the second within 6 months. And for the Prime Minister to use weasel words such as had to make a call to the ambassador when what he was telling us his government was doing, they weren't pulling out any stop, but they were using every diplomatic lever available to them, when in reality the Foreign Minister hasn't called her counterpart, the Defence Minister hasn't spoken to his counterpart. And indeed, we don't even know if the PM has spoken directly to President Xi or whether he plans to make our concerns forcefully known at their upcoming face-to-face meeting in a couple of months.
On another matter, the group of 8 vice-chancellors are seeking advice from the Attorney-General as to whether language like intifada and from the river to the sea, whether that constitutes hate speech. Do you believe, in that context, do you believe such phrases should be outlawed like the Nazi salute has been?
Well, I'm a firm believer in freedom of speech and, at university campuses should be a place where a variety of views are expressed, but they should be expressed respectfully. And right now, our Jewish students and our Jewish academics are not feeling safe on our campuses. I mean, we've got students wanting to break up defence partnerships with corporates like Thales, who actually make Bushmasters, which keep our ADF personnel safe out of Bendigo. But we've got students who are supporting Hamas in Gaza, asking for us to break all ties with an international defence industry corporate like Thales. I mean, this is crazy. We need to ensure that Australian students and academics, no matter what religion or race they are, feel safe on university campuses. And so when we're seeing things like intifada, from the river to the sea, chanted aggressively on campus, I would say it is actually a brave Jewish Australian student that rocks up to class when you're going to have that screamed in your face and feel very, very unsafe. So I'm a no secret, I'm a Zionist. I am a strong supporter of Israel, and I hope, those last 4 battalions of Hamas in Rafah no longer there. The sooner the better, and then we can actually get to stability in Gaza and installing a regime there that leadership within for the Palestinians that is more reflective of a secure future that we want to see in the Middle East.
National Senate Leader Bridget McKenzie joining us from Rockhampton. Thanks. Talk to you soon.
See you, Kieran.